Today, let's talk about how you demonstrate leadership at work, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, volunteers, wherever it is, whatever your organization, let's talk about that, how you demonstrate leadership. Now, in most organizations, you always have positional leadership. That means if I'm a manager, I'm managing people, or if I'm a senior vice president or whatever, that's where people go, okay, now I finally arrived in leadership. Well, that's false, because everybody has to be able to lead. Now, John Maxwell, who wrote the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and 360-Degree Leader, he hit the nail on the head on that book, because that book really talks about how we lead up, how we lead down, how we work with other people, because we need to have leadership. And now, one of his biggest quotes is, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So if you have no influence with people, doesn't matter what your title is, you're not going to have true leadership. So we really need to understand all the concepts of leadership. And I've shared that in many of my videos on how to gain trust and influence with people. We've got tons of videos here on the YouTube channel. And what I can tell you is it takes a long time to start building influence. Now, that's different from leverage. Now, leverage is basically, I'm going to hang something over someone's head because I can and make them do what I want, like a boss might do for somebody for a paycheck. Not a good idea, because once that leverage is gone, or they find something else, they'll leave because they don't want to be in that kind of situation. Nobody does. I mean, really think about that. Would you want to be with a boss that you can't respect? Most people, when they leave an organization, it's because of the boss. They don't leave the organization, they fire their boss, and they go find some other place to work. So we really need to be cognizant of that. So when we're prepping for that, we really need to understand how to build our leadership. Well, that means we need to be able to step out of our comfort zones often. That's right. We need to be able to take risks, step out of our comfort zones if we're going to be in any kind of leadership. So what does that look like? Well, there might be a situation where someone needs you to go work in the plant. Well, some leaders think, well, that's beneath me and I'm not going to go do that. Well, unfortunately, those that actually step in and do that, they're building influence with the workers on the floor and with other people in other parts of the organization. So people that are willing to step in and do the hard work and work alongside of other people, well, they're going to build influence. They're going to learn about each other and they're going to start talking. That's how we have to start, is stepping in. What can we do to step in at our organization and ask for stuff? Not because we just want to get a promotion, but because we care about the team and we want to move forward. So we need to be asking ourselves that tough question. Am I going to step into this? Do I have the resources for it? And is it going to be helping the organization? Because if we don't ask those kind of questions and we just jump in because we just want people to see what we can do and how awesome we are, well, we're not going to build leadership here. So we need to actually step in, go and show people and show them that we care. So we start asking people questions and we start learning about them. Well, they're going to start remembering our names and remembering what we did and who we are. And that over time is going to compound, just like compound interest, and you start building influence. And then you grow in your leadership capabilities. And yeah, you'll eventually get a new title or promotions or whatever it is that you really want. But if we do the hard work, we're definitely going to get there. So we need to make sure that we're stepping in and doing those things. Not just to say, hey, look at me, it's to help out the team. And people will take notice, okay? Now we also need to be investing in people. So where can we invest in other people? Whether they work for us or not, how can we invest? How can we share our knowledge or help them with books or whatever it is we can pour into somebody else? Mentor someone else. What can we do to help someone else grow? Because if we help them grow, we ultimately grow as well. That's going to help us because that's going to increase our capacity. And the first rule in the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership is the law of the lid. So if you think of it kind of like a pitcher of water, there's like a kind of a lid on those things. Well, you can't put any more in. But if we can make it bigger and take our capacity higher, well, guess what happens? We have more volume in us and more capacity, so we can actually grow our leadership and our influence and help other people. So the more that we grow, the more that we will grow in our positions and everybody will see our leadership. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. I'd be glad to help you with any of those leadership topics that I've talked about in the past. How you build influence, why you want to wear certain colors, how you engage people, the trust equation, all those kind of things. Be glad to help. We'll see you next time.